What's up guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about what ZYZZ would potentially look like if he was still alive today. So first thing I'm going to discuss is how much muscle mass could he have had left to gain. So in the first picture here from July 2007 he was 145 pounds. In the following picture 2 years later he was 205 pounds, and then another 2 years later in 2011, shortly before he went to Thailand, he was 225 pounds. That's the highest weight that he claimed to be. So that's again a 60 pounds in the first 2 years and then 20 pounds in the next 2 years. So I think you're looking at maximum 10 to 15 pounds lean gain even over the course of the next 5 years from 2011 onwards, because you really do plateau by that stage after that long training. And even in this picture here it shows from 2008 to 2010, and you can see he built most of his base by 2008, and his arms and legs didn't really grow since then. His chest did grow the most, but it's mainly just the shape fit kind of improved as he brought up lagging parts. And then his waist got a bit wider by the looks of things, but that could also have been his lats growing. So in this next picture here it's showing his legs, which were from 2008, and again you can see since then he didn't put on a whole lot of mass on his legs, but in this picture you can see his chest has that fuller look, and his delts did grow slightly, but again they were close to plateauing. And in this picture here we're just going to show Simian Panda how much his chest changed as he kept on training. And you can see here the shape even looks different because obviously the lower pec continues to develop, and I know that wasn't the look ZYZZ was going for, but I think that might have happened to him as well, that his lower pec would continue to develop. And as you can see here, this is a picture from before he started lifting, and he hasn't got much of a chest at all, but then obviously in this picture shortly before he went to Thailand, you can see there's a massive change, and this is what I think he could potentially have looked like had he continued training. You can see obviously I made the lower chest a bit more developed there, which isn't necessarily more aesthetic, but I think that's how it would look. And then I made his delts and his arms bigger, and also his traps, which looks a bit strange because his traps were already very strong. And here's another picture from the angle view, and then what it would look like if he gained more mass. So I think that's fairly realistic, and what he could have looked like with another 10 pounds on him maybe. And here's another picture just comparing his back, the real picture on the left, and then on the right I just gave him a bit more of a taper as if he had bigger lats, and I tightened his waist a bit to make it look like a more tapered effect. And then in this picture here it's just a picture of how his legs looked, and then this is a modified version of giving him bigger legs. But again, this doesn't look very realistic here because you can see his knees were quite small, his joints and his ankles were small as well, which means there was obviously a limit on how big his legs could get, and I think he was pretty close to that limit, because obviously it just looks strange here having huge quads and tiny knees. So in this picture I think he looked possibly his most aesthetic, and it's good lighting and good angles for him here. And then this is what it would look like if he had put on more mass, obviously just showing the traps, delts and arms blowing up there, and a bit of chest increase, but it's always hard to show that in Photoshop. So I think that is about the max he could have got to muscle wise. And here's another picture. This is the biggest he's looked in a picture in my opinion, and I have suspicions that this is photoshopped already, but I decided to just enhance it a bit, and you can see it just doesn't look realistic at all. It's more cartoonish, and he doesn't even look like a men's physique competitor here, even though a lot of physique competitors are absolute monsters, well, compared to the average person anyway. But that's just a bit of an exaggerated look there, that's the max he could possibly get to. And then just showing his facial progression here from 18 to 21, it changed massively. and obviously a lot of that was down to him still growing and not being a full adult basically. But I think he would have continued to get a good bit older looking, because when he was 22 around that time he did look considerably older, whether that was due to too much tanning or whatever. And even Chesbro mentioned that as well, like it could have been the stress of on his body from the drugs. And then this just showing his hairstyle, if he had the kind of trendy undercut or the fade that pretty much everyone has nowadays. So that's just an example there. And then finally, how he would look if he had gotten more tattoos, or in this case another sleeve. And personally, I don't think it would have suited him to get 2 sleeves. I think he went overboard on the tattoos, but that's just my opinion anyway. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and check out my next video.